Alright, so for today we're going to build an AI bot that we can talk to when we're lonely. Anyway, yeah, I guess we'll just have to get started. And to get started, I'll have to put my face away for now on your screen so that you can see my screen. Badams. Now we are in the API keys where you can find this here when you log into openAI. So I have these three secret keys here used differently for different purposes. Anyway, then next we're going to need VS Code. So we have VS Code here, and I'm already on the directory where I'm going to build the AI bot. You want to code along? Yeah, sure. And for now, we're going to create a React app since we're going to use React and Node. So for the front end, we're going to use React, and this is the command to install it into this directory named web. Hopefully this works. Okay, so I'm gonna install that. Okay, and then yeah, I'll pause here, then I'll continue again once this finish installing. This may take a while. All right, so I think we're back in business. So we have web src here. I guess we'll just have to clean this up. Okay, cd web. Okay, let's go to the package JSON here. Let's try them start. Let's see if our React app is working. All right, so it's loading. It's loading. Okay, we just gotta wait. Okay, there you go. All right, so we just have to do a little bit of cleanup. So as for this one, I just want this to return probably just that one. We'll call this main div. So in order for us to talk to the AI, we're going to need a form where we're going to put in what we want to say and a space for the AI to talk. So for the replies, so we're going to say form. I'm going to say that. So we have a text area here. All right, so in the text area, I don't think we need to put children inside. We're just gonna say handle submit, and we're going to write a function called handle submit in order to, which is we're going to call the what we're going to submit as prompt, and then we're going to need a button that says submit here, and then type is equals to submit. I think that's good enough, but we're going to need to define what handle submit is, so we're going to need that. So what does handle submit do? In order for the React app not to load, we're going to use the prevent default here. Then next would be to call out the server and say, hey, I'm going to say AI said, this is looking for what the AI said. Just in case, we're going to call the server for this, which means that this is an asynchronous function. If I could just type in correctly and await Axios. So we're going to need Axios.post something. I'm not sure yet, but so let's just leave it at that. All right, but just in so that we wouldn't make any errors, we're going to put this in. So the CSS, we're not going to need a lot of these ones. I'm going to delete these ones because we're not going to test our components for this one. This is just a demo. As for this one, since we're using Axios and we're not going to use fetch because I'm lazy, I've found something to in where to call it. I found it on Stack Overflow how to use Axios on your React app, and we're just going to paste that in, and that's going to be this one. And since Axios is not there, we're going to import it, Axios from Axios. I'm not really sure if this is the right way to pronounce it. Then we're not going to send anything for measurements, so we're just going to remove this. All right, so I think that works, but there's still one thing. We're gonna need to install Axios. So cd web and npm I Axios just in case. All right, so then we're ready to save this once this gets installed. So that is already installed, so we can save this now. All right, so we have that. So what do we have in our browser? Okay, so we have a text area and we can submit things here, but it doesn't go to anywhere. So we're going to build where it's going to, and that would mean we're going to add another folder outside named server. Right, so we have a server, and what does a server need is a main entry point, which is we're going to just name index.js. And as for that one, we're going to add, so we're going to initialize node here. Yep, we're just going to accept everything. Is this okay? Yes. Okay, so we have a package.json, and just like any servers, we're going to need express, since this is going to be a node express server. For express, okay, so I'm going to install express because we've added that one, and then we're just the standard node. Okay, what else? We're going to also need a way to access our environment variables, because I don't want pasting my API keys in here, so I'm going to require dot env. So that is what we're gonna need there, and a body parser. So the body parser is for parsing the data coming from the front end to readable JSON, something that Node can be, something that JSON can read. And then next would be, based on the documentation of openAI, we're going to require their configuration and open, what else? Open AI API. I think that's what you. Okay, so thank you for GitHub Copilot. Cons course, we're going to need course because we're going to send this we're going to send the request on the same HTTP, so it's coming from the same localhost, just so that we wouldn't tick our Chrome browser. So based on their, yeah, so we're going to need a new configuration based on, this is based on the documentations I've read. Duration. So my GitHub Copilot is is sending me false. So that's it. So new configuration, that is base here. Okay, so that's why GitHub Copilot is sending me the wrong thing, because I have made a mistake there. Okay, so next, it's really hard to talk. This is my first time talking while while coding. So app.use, we're going to use the body parser, that JSON, yep, and then we're going to use the course as well. Okay, thank you GitHub Copilot. And we're going to write the API where we're going to send the data from the front end. That would be ask an AI. Yeah, and this is going to be an async function, because yeah, it's an asynchronous function. So that's it. Oh, okay. So we have that, but I don't think that is right. So I'm going to destructure the expected body that I'm going to put in, and then we're going to say const response since this is lacking the closing tags. Okay, there it is. So what we need is the model for text generation, which is called text query dash -o1. Oops, I think I've added more than 10 here. Then prompt, which is this prompt here, and I'm going to say temperature. This is mostly from just copying the openAI code. So okay, let's go here. Playground, no examples. So text to command, not that one. Uh, we're going to find which we're going to use. Text mode to call our friend chat. Okay, you can also use this here. See that one? That's what I'm just copying. And then, yeah, I watched an old classic called Casablanca. So if we're going to use this, that could work also. What else? Because we're going text to command. Hmm. Anyway, yeah, these are the bots that you can use, and you can just use it to just copy paste those settings based on, and you can just tweak the settings if you want. And then yeah, let's go back to the code. Okay, so AI bot. So I'm going to say max token, so the number of things he could reply, so that he could reply more than a paragraph if you want to, add more to that. Let me know if I am explaining things wrong. I'm not perfect. I just learned about this like yesterday, and I'm creating one now. So response is going to return uh, an object which has the object property data and an object property called choices, where you can choose which reply to use or which reply to accept, since on those choices it's an array, and in that array the best choice would be the first one in the array. So we're going to use that. I'm just going to destructure it. So yeah, so this is the data object property, then the choices. The next would be if choices, let's say that length is greater than 0, or we could just say choices that length, just to make a shorthand. And then we're going to return a JSON. So since it's a JSON, we're going to make this an object, and the message should be that. That's what we're going to return. But what if there are no choices, there are no response from the AIs or from our OpenAI servers? Then we're going to return JSON says no response, or I refuse to answer. So to make it, or I just refuse to answer. I think that's sufficient enough. Okay, so we're going to try and run this, but first we're going to install everything that we have mentioned there. So .env is one. So all right, so npm install body dash parser. Okay, what else? What else? So npm install openai. Let's not forget about that. And so I want this to run while I am doing some, if I want to make changes and I want this to auto restart every time there are changes, so I'm just going to use nodemon. So in order for that to work, I'm going to install nodemon as well. Nodemon is the one that checks for changes. Then if the changes if there are changes, then it's going to automatically rerun. Just in case we run into trouble, I'm going to try to debug this, so at least we have node moon for us. Yeah, all right. Okay, now we have that. Then of course we're going to run the app to listen to a port. Okay, so it is lacking closing tags again. Okay, we're going to say, yeah, that's it. Listening on port 5000. Okay, let's try to start our server. Hopefully we don't. Okay, so there's our first error. OpenAI-API. Okay, I don't. I thought we've installed OpenAI-API. Uh, in terms of the dependencies, I'm guessing not. Or probably there is something wrong here. Okay, there you go. So we don't need the dash API for this one. So it is a wrong suggestion by our AI bot companion. So let's start this one again. Hopefully. Okay, so there's another module. Okay, we haven't installed course. So yes. Okay, there you go. I'm a little bit rusty. I haven't coded a server from scratch, so forgive me for that one. Okay, nodemon is not recognizable. So have we installed nodemon? Ah, probably not. So nodemon is mostly for dev dependency, so that is a mistake. So, but this one's just for demo purposes, so I think this is working. So we have listening on port 5000, so that was that one. All right, okay, so let's go back to our app. So we are going to post something to our server, which is running on localhost 5000. So we are going to say ask an AI. Yeah, there you go. Thank you for that one. And we'll just say, we'll just console log what AI said, what the AI said, what the AI said. So AI said what? Okay, so I think that's good. And let's go back to our browser. Okay, Axios is not defined. Have we not installed that? Oops, nope, nope, nope. So we're going to install Axios. I thought I've already installed that one. Hopefully it is good now. So this is the server, this is the web. We're just going to delete this. We don't need the logo. Okay, so package.json, we're going to delete this as well. Axios, so Axios is there. All right, let's start this one again. Hopefully there are no errors like that one. Okay, so now we have localhost 3000 running. Let's just close the first one. Okay, Axios is not defined. Where could we have not defined it? So Axios. Oh, okay, here. Import Axios from Axios. I'm so sorry about that. All right. And let's see here. Oh, so it's running again. And we'll look for what the AI said. Hey, how are you? I'm just going to say that. And huh, it did e.prevent default. Is that right? With the prompt e.target value. Oh, okay. So we're still not. The form should be the one that's going to handle the submission. All right, and then on change, we're going to say handle change prompt. Okay, now we have that function. But first, we're going to import use state from React. Okay, I hope you guys are following. So we're going to need to save what we type in here first. Oh my god, that was such a rookie mistake. Anyway, let's just get to it. Cons prompt set prompt. Yeah, handle submit prompt or on change handle change prompt. So we're going to create that function. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. There you go. Handle set prompt. We could direct I we could directly put that in there, but you know, it's cleaner this way. And then the prompt would be this would be it. Okay, that would be it. Or we could just create a shorthand since they have the same property name. And then we're going to say, hey, how are you? Question mark, then submit that. Then okay, there is an error, uncut promise. Access that post. We have await this. We have an await here. So there was an error. Let's see our no. So there was no error on our back end. So this is a post request. There was this one. What the AI said. I'm not sure. E that prevent default so that it wouldn't re-render our component on type button. Yeah. There you go. Probably there's an error on our backend. Oh, okay. So we haven't created an API key yet. So in our server, we're going to add a new file called .env. And in this env file, we're going to add my API key here. This would make the server read our API key, which is this one. Hopefully this works. Okay, so the server npm start. All right. So it's listening on port 5000. Let's see here on our front end if we are, yep, localhost 5000. Okay. I think that's good. Let's submit it again. Hopefully there isn't, oh my gosh, there's another error. Now we are seeing the error, which is nice. OpenAI.complete is not a function, so I may have read the documentation wrong. So thus the bug is on the server. Okay, so let's go back to the server. Hopefully we can fix this quickly because this is getting embarrassing. So OpenAI.create completion. If we, I think that's, let's see here. OpenAI completion.create. Yeah, you could use that. Friendly chat. OpenAI completion.create. Yeah, that could. Oh, so this is Python. So I'm sorry, we're going to nodejs. So there you go. Open create completion. That was the method that we're going to use. Okay, let's start this one out again. So it's already listening to port 5000. That's how nodemon is used. So we changed something, it restarted the whole server. And now we're going to say submit this. Hopefully this works. It takes a while for the server. Okay, now there's another error. Okay, okay. What does it say? File changes, access error, authorization, blah 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 blah. Let's just wait for error. Error, unrecognized argument max token. So it is max tokens, I think. Yep, I think that's the one we're looking for. And then frequency penalty. Hopefully there's not much bugs. Okay, hopefully it restarted the whole server again. So yeah, there you go. Let's submit that one again. What the AI said. So we now have a message says, fine, how are you? See, there it is. Hopefully, I don't think you see it. If probably if I, how do I zoom in? Okay, okay, there you go. What the AI said, that was our console log, and they have a message. So it's in that, it's in data and in the object property called message. Okay, okay, now we have something cooking. Let's go back to our front end and figure out how we can display that. So we have to have another state, I think. Yeah, so okay, let's say AI response, AI response, set AI response. Okay, thank you AI for helping me code. So we are going to say set AI response to AI.data.message. Since what we found on the console log that there is an object called data with a property called message, but yeah, I think that's good enough. Just there are no error handling in this one, so this is not the best way or the most, what do you call this? That is not the best practice. Anyway, since it's for demo purposes, so it's for personal use. Since I'm lonely, I need someone to talk to from time to time. I'm going to have another div here, and I'm going to add the AI response there, since it's just a text. All right, okay, so let's try that one out again. Uh, Hopefully this works. I'm just going to say that. Okay, hopefully this works. Can you guys see that? All right. For my computer, this should work for most computers. Oh, see, so the AI already replied. Okay, the question I've been asking for such a long time. Hey, how can I get a girlfriend? All right, let's see if that works. There is no definitive answer to this question. Some people find online dating or meeting people through friends or social networking be more effective than others. There are many different ways to find a girlfriend, so it really depends on what works best for you. Thank you for the advice. Thank you for the response. Okay. I have tried the same thing. It still does not work. I have tried to unplug and replug the power cord, and I have tried to reset the router. Wait, what? Wait, what are you talking about? All right, let's see. I don't understand what you're asking for. I am. Oh, do you have hobbies? Oh my God, I'm actually getting into this. I'm a big fan of cooking and baking. All right, so that's fair. All right, I'm just going to make this more, what do you call this? More beautiful. So I've prepared some CSS, but we're going to need to add those class names here. Main div class name here is oops, AI form, and class name would be written submit. All right, I think that works. And this would be class name as AI response box. All right, let's see. Okay, I think didn't work. It didn't work at all because we haven't imported the, oh, we imported the CSS. Main div buttons submit. Yeah, 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 yeah. Anyway, you can not stick around if you guys want, but I'm just here making this pretty. All right. Okay, so it's now in the center. So, uh, what is your name? Mia. Oh, hi Mia. I'm lonely. Alright. That sounds like something you might want to talk to other. All right. Okay. So that's the whole app. Hopefully you've learned something. The GitHub Link is on the description if you guys want to try and do this yourself or and make this serve as a guide for you. So yeah, hopefully you like that tutorial. And yeah, see you again next time. And yeah, subscribe, like, comment. Hopefully these help you. You can use different AIs also for your project, or if you want some code completion type of bot, there is something available for it too. Yeah, and hopefully we get to use AI for our advantage most of the time. Bye, see ya.